Yeah.
You're forever going to have to call me, at least until October ends.
That's not fair.
Listen, Discord gives the recipient of the call the cool skeleton spooky music. So
what if I want to hear spooky, scary skeletons
well,
when I'm
then
called?
Figure it out yourself.
I can't believe this.
You have to deal with the old basic bitch audio.
You're a menace for even telling me about it.
I shouldn't have.
Exposed me to it.
I should have kept it all to myself.
Just to take it away.
That's right. I'm keeping it all for myself. I need it. It's mine.
I don't think you do.
Oh, happy Halloween.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. No costumes this time, but we probably would have worn the same thing with this economy.
Well, they're not even seeing it this time. Although, isn't it technically our, 2 or 3 year anniversary?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
It's
2
one
3
of them.
year.
It's definitely 2 or 3.
Because we started in like October, didn't we?
We did. We started today. I just don't know if it's 2 or 3 years.
Oh, then it's 3 years.
Okay. Happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary. Woo, 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 woo.
Woo, woo. To us.
It's Halloween. It's anniversary. It's everything.
Yeah, this one is less special though, because who celebrates 3 years?
Exactly. That's an odd number. Bad vibes.
The first year is obviously you got to celebrate, and then the second year is like, wow, it's actually a thing.
Yeah, it's like when babies, when they used to like die really young, just as naturally. You how you wouldn't name them until they hit like 2 years old.
Yeah, and we named ours from the beginning. Shows how much we care.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody celebrates 3. You'll hear from us again in 5, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're still alive.
Though we might do video for episode 100, because we will celebrate that one.
Yeah, that's worth celebrating.
That's only in 5 more episodes.
That's further than like 90% of podcasts make it.
That's true. We are not 90%. We are the 1%.
That's right. And soon we'll rise up as soon as we learn something about marketing.
And as soon as we put effort into marketing. we know about it. We just don't do it.
It's rough out here, man.
Listen, I can't be doing everything.
We're 2.5 person team. Brain's been stolen by the baby.
That's true. We had 3. Imagine if she didn't abandon us, how far it would be.
I know, right? We'd have the TikToks every week.
I tried to get her to come onto this one, and believe it or not, she's in the middle of a work day right now.
Nonsense. She should have took off just like I did.
Okay, to be fair though, you didn't take off. You just said, I'm not coming in.
That's the same thing, isn't it?
You're like, fuck you, I'm not coming in. Welcome, everybody, to episode 95 of You're Ridiculous.
Whoa!
The spooky, scary episode, of course. Halloween edition.
Of skeletons.
That's right. The skeletons are inside us.
Nah, maybe inside of you.
You don't have a skeleton?
I mean, I can never check.
Gelatinous?
Well, I guess I've gotten enough x-rays. That's not true. I know there's a skeleton
That's
in there.
why dogs are man's best friend, because there's bones inside us.
They sense our bones.
They do. Last week, we talked about summertime rendering, finally.
I know.
Wolf, you were so smart.
Somehow.
Except for the ending, which you're wrong about.
I was wrong. No, that.
You said it!
I was wrong about there being 3 Shories, but I am
you were
100%
wrong about Mio, and you said it.
Correct about Mio and Tsukiko being in-game.
You don't even know the names. It's Tokiko.
Tokiko. It's been long enough.
Sue is the brother. You don't even know. So, yeah.
No, you don't know.
I know who the important. He's not important. He's an idiot.
That's why he's not. Exactly. He's not important. That's why he's not in-game.
You already agree that you're wrong. We're not talking about this,
I was wrong to trust you.
We are not talking about summertime rendering, though we probably could.
We could.
We are.
For ages.
It's true. We are talking about the science of scare, the scariest movie list of all time.
Yeah.
All the science that goes behind it and the movies that make the list up.
Science, quote unquote.
It's scientific.
I guess. It's scientific in the way that measuring the shapes of people's heads of skulls is scientific.
True. There's only a certain amount of science to this, but an experiment nonetheless. I still think there's some merit to it.
A little bit, yeah. It's got more merit than the skull measuring, but I got thoughts.
Let's get into this. So, moneysupermarket.com. Never really heard of them, but apparently they do many tests about all different types of things. Since 2020, they've started doing the Science of Scare project. And what they're doing is trying to get a list of the scariest movies of all time. Shocker. How they're doing this is that they, over several months throughout the year, they're interviewing tons, or not really interviewing, but composing an experiment on tons and tons of different people, all variety of ages and nonsense, to see how scared they get when watching the list of horror movies.
Yeah.
If you want to find out what the whole list entails, you can Google it.
Yeah.
We only really care about mostly the top 10, I think.
When I was trying to re-find it, because I originally saw it on a TikTok, so I was just like looking for the right visuals. And I'm looking at the website, I'm like, this can't be right. What do you mean, super money market? Yeah. What is that?
I don't really know all what they do, but they do a lot of different stuff. The tests, they have them watch over the span of several months, like I said. They watch the movies, and during the watchings, they're hooked up to heart rate monitors and a couple other different things to calculate their heart rate in beats per minute and heart rate variance, which most notably has only been for this 2023 test. Previously, in 2020, 21, and 22, they did not have that sort of the test. But it's basically the speed at the heart rate is going and how often it's maintaining that speed.
Yep.
Which is really interesting.
And this year, cool. They added another modifier of stress. They asked throughout the film how stressed, the average stress the person was feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah,
stress and anxiety and all that sort of thing. It's interesting that they only recently added the heart rate variance, considering that it seemed pretty obvious to me that if you're only testing beats per minute, that it obviously incentivizes or gives a huge advantage to jump scare movies.
It does indeed.
Right? That seemed super obvious to me, even before I read their next section about adding heart rate variance. And I'm like, well, this is going to be super weighted. The first, no surprise there, but the first couple years, it was kind of weighted to those. But this year seems a lot more accurate. Maybe. At least in terms of adding more variance.
Yeah,
or more variables, which is important. But let's get... You have thoughts. Yeah, I was going to say, you have thoughts about this.
You want to start at the bottom of the list or the top?
Let's start at the bottom, because I feel like there's less to say about those ones.
All right, bottom 50 or bottom 20?
We'll do bottom 20.
Okay. Starting at bottom, number 20, The Ring. A classic one. Everyone knows about that one.
Yeah. I didn't really like this one that much.
It was scary for its time, but of course now scary has just gotten better over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's really iconic because it's obviously the girl with the wet hair and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really remember much about it.
Yeah, I don't even think I've fully watched The Ring. I've just absorbed its plot through all the parodies of it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's known for at this point. Not that surprise it's high on the list. I wonder, actually, before we go any further, I wonder how many of these are high on the list because of their notoriety.
Notoriety in the sense of...
In that they're very famous. Like you said, The Ring is famous because of how many parodies of it exist.
Yeah.
Or in something like Paranormal Activity, which I'll bring up later because I think there's a really funny sequence with that movie franchise in particular. But the other ones on the list, I wonder how many of them are just oh yeah, I know this is supposed to be really scary, or scarier than the others, so I'm gonna be scared,
We can't not include it.
Right, exactly. Or I can't not feel scared as the person getting their heart rate monitored.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Anyways, number 19. What are you
when you're taking the science scare test and your heart rate's going up because you're scared, because you're anxious that you're not gonna be scared enough. You're gonna ruin the results.
Oh man.
Next we have Insidious 2.
Yep, classic. Another classic. Probably, I would say that this is the most famous franchise for horror movies.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Gotta be. I think there's more famous individual movies, but Insidious got to be the most famous franchise.
Yeah, definitely one of the ones I watched in like high school as I was entering my horror era.
Of course. Two things. They have a scare score about how scary it is, 0 to 100. They also did a control movie to see how everything worked with their variables. Shrek was the control movie. It got 3 out of 100. And so the scare score from The Ring is 69. Insidious got a 70 rating. And basically, they take the stress levels plus beats per minute and heart rate variance and sort of combine that into an overall rating, basically adding and subtracting and doing all the maths with those variables. If you want to read more about it, you can go on their website. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Sus website, but it's legit. It's legit stuff.
Yeah.
It's even like, it's funny because it's structured like a website from like the 2000s. It's got like banner ads. It's really basic.
It's designed by a scientist. Like literally, like it's not designed for user experience at all. It's just like, this is how we present data. This is what the public wants.
In their tiny ass little table.
I know. I had to zoom into it. Number 18. I've never heard of this one. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it. Let me look up the picture real quick. Maybe I'll recognize it.
This also got a 70 score rating, but had a a bit higher spike of beats per minute of 122 compared to Insidious 2, which was 118. Cool.
This is the one that game's based off of. There was this game that was on YouTube that caused a bit of controversy because it brought up the conversation of favoritism on YouTube because it had a scene with it talks about suicide and self-harm, and some creators' videos got taken down while others didn't, even though everyone was playing the same game with the same cutscenes.
I did hear about that. This one's from 2016.
Nice.
Interesting. I feel like I should have heard more about it. Anyways, A Quiet Place 2.
I like how part 2 made it higher than part 1.
I forgot there was a part 2.
That's nonsense.
Why, you like part 1 more?
I do. Part 2... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I didn't even realize that... I forgot there was a part 2. That's how much better part 1 was.
I know, right? And it's part 2, it stopped being A Quiet Place, and it started being just another generic thriller horror movie. It was very Chainsaw Massacre-esque. It was we're gonna fight back. We're gonna bust out our huge, impractical weapons, kill each other, kill the monsters, and be the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet, but still come out on top.
This is also really novel because it was made and starring characters, or sorry, not characters, but actors and actresses that don't normally star in these type of things. It's, Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. They're normally in feel good action, different, those sort of movies, Yeah. Not normally in this sort of thing. And it was really unique to see them star in it and basically, I think, be the writers or directors or something. I forget exactly. Yeah, they basically made the movie and starred in it, which is cool.
That is cool. I wonder how they lost their way with part 2.
Sequels are always worse.
It was two sides of a coin. You need both sides for it to be good.
That's right. This got a scare score of 71.
Highest heart rate was a 123. And I could see that. There's some suspenseful moments.
Resting heart rate, by the way, is 64 average.
Wow, I couldn't do any of these studies. My resting heart rate's really high.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Typically, it ranges between 50 and 70.
Mine's 70 something.
Yeah.
People, whenever I get my heart rate checked, people comment on it all the time. Even when I'm not at the doctor's, I was at the firehouse once as a tour thing, they show it off, and they're here's our heart rate monitor we use to check on people. And who wants to try it? I was I'll try it. And they were are you okay? Is this broken? I'm no. It's totally fine.
You just have an evolved heart.
I do. I'm a witcher.
One built for speed.
I got bendy ribs and a fast heart.
That's right. The Babadook, number 16, with a scare score of 72.
That's all right. That's valid. I won't criticize its positioning. It's a bit older. And it's also, I think it has the issue with the ring that it's also been memed to death.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because the movie itself,
yeah,
pretty solidly scary.
This is another classic one that has definitely been overly memed, and now it's like a lot less scary. But originally, when it first came out, you know, it was pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity.
I can't believe this is on the list.
At
all.
For real. I guess now is the good time because I think the data is really funny. They have all their previous tests, and so Paranormal Activity has gone down every single year. It was number 5 the first year in 2020.
Number 5 in 2020.
Yeah, number 5 in 2020. Then
that's when that fucking Cabin in the Woods came out.
I know. And then in 21, it went down to number 9. 22, it was number 10. And then this year, since they added the heart rate variance, it's dropped the most by 5 places and has been number 15.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how
it's ever been that high.
115. And it's even looking at the numbers, I don't know how it got a 73 compared to others.
Yeah,
but of course I'm not a math person.
True. This was a weird one. I don't really think. I feel like we both agree that it does not belong here.
Yeah, way lower.
Yeah.
Like, who comes out of Paranormal Activity shook?
Oh, originally, actually, the hype around it was that it was supposed to be one of those ones that's like, you won't leave the theater, like, sane, you know?
Really?
It got that sort of, when it first came out, it got that sort of reputation of being, like, one of the attempt at the scariest movie of all time.
Like, nothing happens. The 4th one was, like, the best one.
Yeah.
Can't believe this.
Nothing does happen. It's like sepia tone recording and nothing happens. Or black and white. Is that sepia? No. What is sepia?
Yeah, sepia tone.
Sepia? Yeah. Is it sepia? Okay. I'm not a film person, so
sometimes it's green because night vision.
True. Number 14, we got The Dark and Wicked, or The Dark and the Wicked. Yeah,
this one I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Curious.
No commentary, but it got a score of 74. Look at those bars.
Oh, look at you go.
I know, right?
Once again.
What's number 13?
It Follows. That one's also a weird one, I think. I believe it's a little older. I think it's also just like another popularity one because it's like, it's kind of scary. It's got its like bloody moments, but it's not. It's kind of goofy.
It is very goofy from what I remember. It's like some... It reminds me of that, there's an old Vine where the guy looks almost exactly like this. And I can't remember. Oh, I don't remember. But I like that you said this is kind of an older one. It came out in 2014.
That's old.
I mean,
I guess not as old as The Ring, but...
Well, yeah. It's just funny to think about.
Oh, man, Lucas, we're old.
I know. Fucking ancient. I'm crumbling away. All bones. The Conjuring 2, number 12, with also a score of 74.
How does The Conjuring 2 have the same score as It Follows? I quite like The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2.
Yeah. These are also incredibly classic movies.
Yeah. And it's like solidly scary, not just like jump scares. It's got like its dread factor.
Yeah.
I think this what do you call it? The stress score really tilted some of these results.
Yeah, well...
Which, like, I'll get into it more as we get into the top ones. It's really set me off.
The Conjuring 2 has a way higher spike of beats per minute at 116 compared to 96.
Right.
So that's a big influence. And then It Follows actually beat it out on average heart rate and overall difference.
That's interesting.
Only by a little bit, but the spike was really what set it off.
So I suppose It Follows does have, like, that constant pursuit.
Yeah, it's more of they called it a slow burn.
Yeah.
Instead of like high jump scares, which I think The Conjuring 2 has more of.
Yeah, it like starts normal and then you get to like your second, third act is when things go down.
Yeah. The Descent is number 11 with 74 as well. I've never heard of this one.
Did I see that one? Oh, I think I have. Oh, I've seen this one. I saw the pictures. I remembered.
Hmm.
That one, yeah, I think that's a solid position for this one.
This looks...
Yeah, it's about it's about cave diving.
It looks pretty goofy. I like that when you go on Google, most of the images are blocked for safe search.
Yeah, I don't even have safe search on.
I don't either. I definitely don't either. And it's funny that they still... It looks like just the Descent title has its... automatically turns it on just for the search.
Someone complained because I unblurred one of the photos and it's just a girl, a lady, and covered in red.
Yeah, they're pretty.
She's taking a bath.
To be honest, yeah, it's like I've seen worse things than Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the funny that it blocks them all, but who cares about all the other ones? The top 10. What do we have?
We have first Talk to Me, which let me look that one up too and see if I recognize the picture. I've watched a lot of horror movies. They start to blur together.
I have this one is about the group like starts summoning shit with a disembodied hand or like an embalmed hand.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one.
Things go really wrong. Apparently, according to my sister, this one fucks you up. It's not like it's not as scary as some of the other ones. But, like, the psychological things are much higher.
I see it being compared to Midsummer, so that tracks.
Yeah, the spike is not that high for beats per minute. It's only 106. But this one has a way higher stress level.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why cracks the top 10 list at a scare score of 75, which is pretty respectable.
Wow. Not bad, not bad. Next, we have Hell House LLC, which that one I'm sure I haven't heard of.
This one sounds like a joke.
It does. It's got a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Made in 2015, a horror movie.
Is this another found footage one? Is that what this is?
It looks like it. Yeah, it is. It totally is. Oh, the guy from Criminal Minds is in it.
Maybe I'm just built different, but I don't understand why people find, like, found footage movies so scary. Like, they're scared by the fact that it's found footage, allegedly.
Allegedly is right.
But we're at a point in society where we know it's not actually found footage.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's so many gullible people out there.
There are.
Just send this to Lauren and she'd be like, oh my god!
Lauren thinking that fucking hotel was like haunted when really it's just in a bad part of town. That girl, she disappeared and she just magically ended up in she was murdered. Killed.
Well, Lauren also thought a story about her cat written by an AI was beautiful, so and full of love.
She did. Oh my god, yeah. Lauren! We have to have an intervention.
That'll be what episode 100 is. The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Have I heard this one? Oh, this one's another based on a true story.
It is. It is indeed.
A legal drama.
Funny. Drama horror. Oh, Joshua Close is in it. I like him. He's good.
Is this a part of, like, the Exorcism franchise, or...?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I think it's different.
Yeah, I've never seen this one.
I haven't either. But it has a scare score of 76. Although really low on the spike. It's only 96.
Yeah, I guess its average heart rate is fairly high, though, at 82. So maybe it's another slow burn movie.
It looks like it. Less jump scare stuff.
Just makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah. High anxiety. But we got Smile next.
Smile. This one, I guess I could accept. I think maybe that, because there's other movies I think should be higher, but I don't fully, like, disagree with it being this high. Smile, goofy premise, but, like, really well executed as a horror movie.
This one's from 2022. I heard a lot about it, but never watched it. What is it? What's the premise?
The premise is, like, there's, like, this... You get, like, cursed or possessed by some demon, and the way you know you're cursed or possessed is that, like, everyone around you, or whoever the demon is, like, manifesting at that moment is, like, smiling, but it's, like, a really off-putting big grin. Yeah. And I think it really works because it's, like, that idea of something non-human smiling without actually understanding what a smile is, so it looks off.
Yeah, it's like the sort of uncanny valley stuff.
Yeah.
Like vaguely humanoid and familiar, but very unsettling still.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So that's why it's a solid number 7.
I wonder why it's so It has a spike of 114.
Yeah,
Must be relatively scary.
Yeah, it's like it's a pursuit movie for one, so it's always got that like anxiety, pressure, but then it's also got its like horrific moments, like a slasher-esque,
right?
And its fair share of jump scares because it's like there's like one from the trailer that's like iconic of like she's just like in her car or something. She turns around just in time for someone to just like slam right into her window, like the passenger side window. Spooked everyone for centuries. Our ancestors will feel that one.
What's next?
Next is Hereditary, which is the most questionable one on this list.
Oh, you think so?
Hereditary is not scary.
This was in 2018. It's not even listed as a horror movie. It's an indie film and / drama.
Exactly.
Which I'm really surprised it's made the list.
It shouldn't have even been one they watched.
This is more disturbing than scary.
Nothing more scarier than mental illness.
Right, it's more just like psychological based and not like, from what I understand.
Yeah.
It's not really like classic horror or slasher movie. So I'm not really sure why it's here.
It wasn't that well received by like general audiences either, because it's like it had that like artsy touch to it and it not being like a traditional horror movie.
Yeah. Indie films often do. So it's kind of weird. Sus on the list, by the way.
Every time I look up Hereditary, it just makes me mad because I see people's reviews and it's like, here's what really happened. And when they talk about what really quote unquote happened, they're like, yeah, so there really was a demon and et cetera and all this super. No! The point of the movie was that none of that happened and they were just mentally ill.
Yeah.
There was no demon king. It was a delusion.
Classic. People read way too far into things.
Yeah.
They try to find the meaning when it's either there is no meaning or the meaning is entirely different than what they think.
They're not satisfied with the real meaning, so they make some shit up.
Exactly. The Conjuring is number 5.
That's solid. I watched Conjuring back in high school. Solidly scary.
Yeah. This one, I would be surprised if it wasn't top 10.
True.
I don't know if it needs to be like 5 if it's that scary, but you know, I'm fine with it. It definitely deserves to be top 10. So
at least it's a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. And a very iconic one as well.
Yeah, its highest, what do you call it? Spike 132. Yeah, that's the highest on this list.
Second highest. The next one is the highest.
What? No.
Yeah.
132 and then 133. Oh.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Thank you.
Shut up.
You are indeed correct.
Listen, Idiot. It's a tiny table.
Idiot. It is a tiny table. Yeah, I like The Conjuring. This is also like was this the first in the whole like franchise? Like they're all like connected, right?
Yeah, there's like a couple. There's like The Conjuring, there is Annabelle.
The Nun.
There's one more. They've only got one movie, but I can't remember the name of it.
I didn't realize Joey King was in this.
Wow.
Interesting. I'm looking at the castles every time.
I like their like interconnected universe because they're not in your face about it.
Yeah.
Unlike Marvel.
Yeah. It's just all there. We got The Nun, Annabelle, The Conjuring. Oh, The Curse of La Llorona.
That's the one.
That's the other. That's the one.
The one-off.
Yeah. And then all the other like sequels like Conjuring 2 and Annabelle Comes Home and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I like that they're not in your face about it. But it's all still present. We have one of the most infamous, which is Insidious at number 4.
Truly. I don't think I've watched Insidious as like an adult. I watched it as a child and it's left its mark. I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when this movie came out, the amount of people that were freaking out over just the name being Inside Us was astounding. They didn't even watch the movie yet and they're already shitting their pants.
I never got that.
Really?
Yeah. I guess I never stopped to think about it.
Yeah, that was like one of the whole things about it was the name was also just like a play on words and everything.
I see.
And people were just like losing their minds over that before they even watched it.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. This is definitely, I think Well, we'll get to that towards the end. Absolutely deserves to be on the list. Wolf already said it. Has the highest spike at 133.
Yeah.
No surprise there. Also, pretty high average stress level and everything. So a lot deserving of number 4.
Yeah, it's got a lot of jump scares, but they're not cheap jump scares. And it doesn't like rely too heavily on them in the first place.
Right. It's still scary even if you removed a lot of them.
Yeah.
Skinamarink.
Skinamarink is really funny that this is on here, and I think it's only on here because they introduced the stress factor.
I agree, because this, from what I know and have read about this, I read a lot about the top 10. This one's not, like, that scary.
It's like
Isn't it mostly just a humongous slow burn?
Yeah. There's not even really technically a payoff, because it's that artsy.
Right. It's just like a lot of psychological.
Yeah, it's dread, which, like...
Right.
I think stress and dread are different things, and they should have recognized that in the study.
Yeah, agreed. I 100% agree. It also has a very low rating.
Yeah, because it's
2.1 and only like a 6 on IGN and 70 on Rotten Tomatoes.
If you walked into a movie theater and you like got a ticket to Skinamarink without having like known about it, you would have asked for a refund. Because it's a found footage movie, but it takes it to a whole nother level in which it's just like metaphorical psychological imagery. And like Matt Pat did game theory on it and like told me what's up, and like what's happening is really horrific and dreadful and sad. Right. But if you just were sitting there watching it, you'd just be confused.
Yeah, it doesn't play out that well as like a viewership unless you already know kind of what's going on.
It's insidious, but from the point of view of the sleeping child.
Right. And the funny thing, the found footage, it's just in the guy's home.
Yeah.
Like the guy that wrote the story, it's just in his house.
Yeah.
Which is
because it's just like a little indie film.
Yeah, it's really funny. So, I don't know. Do you think it should be like even top 10?
No.
I don't think so.
Dread is not fear.
I was surprised. What's that?
Dread is not fear.
Oh yeah, agreed.
It's not horror.
Very different things. Number 2 is Host. This is so funny that it's like on here.
This one.
I was
looking at the pictures, and it just reminds me of all like they're probably just like variants of like the same concept, but everyone I've seen is just so goofy.
You haven't watched this one?
I don't think so.
So it was made in 2020 or just like after the lockdown happened. And so the story is that it's a group of girls, and some of them have boyfriends, conducting an online seance, and then the seance gets disconnected. The person running the seance, I don't know the character's name.
The main girl.
Well, they
fucks all of them.
What's the word for the person that conducts the seance?
Oh, I actually don't know.
The medium.
The witch. Oh, the medium.
The medium gets disconnected from the internet, and they continue the seance. And then, because one of the girls wants to, like you said, the one.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah, and then it just is a horror movie that plays out over a Zoom call, and it's so weird. Why is this a thing?
It hit too close to home for everyone trapped inside their homes.
This was first in 2020, 2021, and then has gotten second the next 2 years.
This is ridiculous, people. People have no taste.
It has a spike of 130 and a high R rate of 88.
130 for scary images happening over Zoom.
Yeah, and it's basically just that all the characters die, which obviously was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe that this even cracks top 10.
It's not supposed to read as funny, but it's incredibly funny when the medium does finally reconnect, and she's like, "The fuck are y'all talking about? I got disconnected hours ago."
Yeah. It's so good. It's also dumb. Like, why would you stay on the Zoom call if bad shit is happening?
Right? Just close it. End it.
Close the call. And if, like, obviously, so I think they do that. The final one closes the call and then she ends up dying. But why is that, like, the result?
Right? Like, how do you get that
far? Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. How do you get that far and then only close the call after all the friends are dead?
Like, I'm closing the call at the moment the medium connected because I wouldn't be joining this in the first place. Because the way it's like, it works, like, in a magical sense, I'm kind of familiar with it. Right. Is that when you do a seance, there's a circle. And that circle is there to protect you from what's inside the circle. there is no circle over Zoom. So you were all fucked from the start.
That's right. Only the medium is protected.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. It's the idea is so dumb to me, honestly.
Medium
I have no idea why this
murders like 5 people.
Got off scot-free.
Sent her ghost after him.
That's right. Number 1, which was
Sinister.
also... Yeah, Sinister. Number 1 was in... Oh, sorry, 2020. It was also number 1.
Yeah, this one was solidly scary. This one, I don't have strong memories of it because I watched this one in high school and just haven't come back to it. It is 2012. Yeah.
This one has the demon Boogle.
Boogle!
Yeah, abducts children and makes the children kill their families.
I think it's Boogie.
Not according to the video, or not according to the movie.
What?
Buggle or Boogle. I can't remember.
Look, Sinister movie description.
Because I was reading about it. I saw this one a while ago.
Maybe it's like a font thing and you're reading an I as an L. Because I'm pretty sure it's like Mr. Boogie, as in the Boogeyman.
Okay.
Where's the character list? Why is everything shit now?
I know. It doesn't even tell me on cast on Wikipedia. Anyways, Boogie, Mr. Boogie. I think you're right. Oh, no.
Oh,
featured as the
Boogle,
the children under Boogle.
It's being spelled wrong everywhere.
So in the movie, they said Mr. Boogie.
I see.
But the demon itself is Boogle.
Boogle, okay. There's those vague memories.
Yeah. No, you're right. We're both right. Because I remember that. Yeah. Additionally, Nick King portrays Boogle / Mr. Boogie.
Ah.
They use both. I believe when they do you remember those family tapes?
Yeah.
It says like Mr. Boogie or whatever.
I see.
And that's what the children call him too. They call him Mr. Boogie.
Yeah.
But the demon is Boogle.
Yeah. Sinister has that iconic moment that got eventually recreated in It, so now everyone only knows It for doing it, where they're like watching the movie and then like the demon possesses the film and turns around and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Horrific.
And you could like, the demon was always there in the film, but you didn't notice it the first time.
Yeah, if it's just getting closer.
Right. And then, yeah, many times Mr. Boogie like possesses the film and like looks at the character and then the character doesn't notice and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh, man. Always great to see children in danger.
That's right. This was a good one. This one was like legit pretty spooky, especially for when it came out.
Yeah.
And has a high spike of 131, and honestly, that's fair.
It's described on Wikipedia as a snuff film. You know what? That tracks.
What is a snuff film?
It's in real life. It's a movie where like someone dies, but in real life.
Interesting. This also has the classic red-faced demon, Mr. Boogie, and that one also gets memed upon, but it's still kind of spooky.
Yeah.
It is a meme, but it didn't like completely demolish it like other ones.
Yeah. People joke about it because they're scared.
Yeah, the meme didn't completely take over it, so it's good. What does Sinister? Do you think if you made the list, would Sinister be your number 1, or do you have something else?
Off the top, maybe number 1, but I do have like other ones in mind. I'm surprised at least weren't on top 20 because I didn't look past 50.
Yeah.
But like, well, I guess more recent movies, like one of the Nuns, not the second Nun, but maybe the first Nun. Also, the Evil Dead movies, but I guess those are more comedic leading, so maybe they don't count.
The Evil Dead is good, actually. The Nun 2 is 28th.
28th. Okay.
Yeah, but then the Nun, the first one isn't even on top 50.
Yeah, maybe I'm biased. I liked how the Nun 2 did the demons.
Evil Dead Rise is 36.
36. It's a goofy factor, honestly.
Right, it is. It is.
That one movie, Cabin in the Woods. I can see they're all like horror movies with like a slice of goofy in them.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised Cabin in the Woods not on here, actually. They have a whole like rating system about how they pick their movies and stuff, but that's more than I want to get into.
Yeah. It number 30.
I didn't even think, is it? It's not even that scary, is it?
It's not. I guess it's got
just,
its moments.
Right, but that is one of the most, like, movies that has, like, all the funny bits.
Yeah, it's like horrifying situation, not so horrifying execution.
Right. I guess, like, because, like, looking at it, I'm not really scared of Pennywise. Yeah. I'll be honest.
I'd fuck Pennywise.
Listen, we know. You know how to say it. How is Nightmare on Elm Street 25th?
Maybe it's an old factor.
I guess. People are afraid of Freddy Krueger still? I don't think so.
No, really. Plus, it looks old, so it shows.
It does. He does look
We've gotten so used to hyper-realistic gore.
That's right. Demon of Dreams, my ass. Halloween, Michael Myers, the first one.
Oh, wow. I noticed none of the other Halloweens on this list.
Well, yeah. They're also not that scary, though.
Yeah, they're more goofy. They're campy.
Right, they're campy and a slow burn. But there's the slow burn without the burn.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm kind of anxious, but I'm also like, I really want to watch Michael Myers kill people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's kind of how it feels. So, I have to ask, what is your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie? God, probably... That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I'll let you think, because I think mine is Insidious. I just think, like, it's set the ground rules for a lot of other horror movies that have come out, and a lot of them have attempted to emulate and copy the things that they've done.
Right.
And I just remember when it came out, like how the reactions from people were way more astounding than other movies that have come out that are trying to be similar.
Right, trying to repeat that magic, but they can't.
They cannot.
They're not built different.
True. Yeah, I think Insidious is my top choice for definitely the most iconic.
Oh, mine would be. Let me make sure it's actually called that. I think it's just called The Mirror.
Oh, I think I know what that one is.
Movie. It's about these like two siblings. They've got like this haunted mirror.
Yeah. In
their house. They've had it since childhood, and the mirror's cursed / possessed by a demon that slowly causes everyone in the house to like kind of go insane. Mm-hmm. And it was both like scary and psychological. There's like a lot of good moments where like they're trying to destroy the mirror, and the mirror it's like alive, so it's also trying not to be destroyed. And they come out like this really convoluted like Rube Goldberg-esque device, like smash the mirror while they're like far away, and they still get outsmarted, and the main girl almost dies because the mirror tricks her into like standing in front of the giant pointy spike that's about to gore her brain out. Incredible. Which was supposed to break the mirror. Oh, what the fuck was it called? It's not
Is
called
it not
The Mirror.
Called The Mirror?
It was not. I looked it up.
Oh.
Movie about cursed mirror.
Is it called Oculus?
Yes! Oculus.
Gotcha. Oculus. Yeah, I found it.
That was real good.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, there's more. They've made more.
Oculus 2, The Mirror Returns.
Yeah, and if not Oculus, Get Out was really good. That one's like,
oh yeah,
it's horror in a different way.
It is. Yeah, that one was actually pretty good. It made the list somewhere, I thought.
I thought so.
Oh, I think it was a previous list, actually.
Oh no, it's number 46.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is. Nice. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Only a scare rating of 42, though.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not like that scary, but it is a good movie.
Yeah, I like the setup and I like the payoff.
I did. One of the better, like, just written stories.
Yeah. The, like, visuals of, like, him, like, dropping into, like, his hypnotized state. That's cool. That's unsettling.
It is. Good movie.
Yeah.
All right. That wraps up the science of scare.
Whoa.
Maybe we'll do this again if they do it again next year, which they will, I think. Surely,
now that they've got funding from moneysupermarket.com.
We have a question of the week from Rain, Halloween themed, of course. Wolf, what is it?
Who, in your opinion, is the most famous horror/slasher film character?
Surely you've got thoughts.
what's her name? Probably Sadako. She's got like this presence, even just everywhere. She's the monster from The Ring.
Yeah. Surely.
Like even if people don't know her name, they know her.
No, it can't. No way. It's Sadako.
Black-haired bitch with her face all covered up by her hair coming out the TV screen. Iconic.
It is iconic, but there's no way she's beating Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. He's
from Halloween.
Yeah, the mask guy.
Yeah.
Nah, irrelevant.
What?
Irrelevant.
He's got to be the most iconic Halloween character.
He's the most beaten dead horse at this point.
Okay, maybe that's true, but he's still iconic. He's beaten and dead because everybody knows who he is. He has his own theme music. So, and everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, you wanna know how I know Sadako is more iconic, at least her imagery? She made it into Dead by Daylight first. She was one of like the starting characters of the horror game where you play as slashers. And where's Michael Myers? He shows up almost 3-4 years later.
That's because he's too iconic of a name for them to get. Nobody cares about the rights to Sadako.
Now he's in the game and no one fucking plays him.
Well, that's their fault. They're missing out.
Because he's lame.
That's Dead by Daylight's fault, not his.
There was even an attempt to make a Michael Myers specific Dead by Daylight game, and it failed. No one plays it anymore.
Well, yeah, but that's also still the developer's fault, not Michael Myers' fault.
Nah, because he's boring.
He's the most
lame.
iconic. He has all the merchandise. He's got the iconic masks.
Out of the favor of the world. I think he's really only iconic in America now. Sadako is iconic across the world.
Yeah, you're probably right about that, though. But it's only like I probably will agree with you on that one. However, still iconic as fuck. I think the only other argument that I would have, or not argument, but like character that you could convince me of would be Pennywise.
Oh, maybe I was gonna say Jigsaw.
See, maybe Jigsaw too. Any of those four, I'll be fine with.
Yeah.
I think any of those that are not Sadako, Michael Myers, Pennywise, or Jigsaw are like, you're bugging. There's no way Freddy Krueger even is like close.
People don't even think about him anymore. He's lost his power. He's a joke in Rick and Morty.
Poor Freddy Krueger. He is. He's a joke in Family Guy too.
He is.
Yeah. All right, Wolf. Take this Halloween away.
I'm Wolf, taking this spooky Halloween night away. Thank you for watching episode 95 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo!
If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you liked all that, be sure to, if you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support the show. You can follow us across the internet, the main cast at the ridiculous_cast on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Lucas at 7angry Wallace with an E, and you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope to see you guys all again next week, but until then, say boo!
Boo!
Boo!